sitting inside your home right now. Maybe you're sitting inside your office right now. I'm sure some of the audience can attest to having wires just like those where you can't even use them because they're so old. So why do you have them? Maybe one day you decide to clean out your office, clean out your home. You find a box like this, you take it downstairs and you put it in the trash can. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Not exactly. The minute these wires are taken to a landfill and the minute they are burned, harmful dioxins are released into the environment and you have just contributed to the growing problem of e-waste. That's where we come in. We are Wirecycling.
I'm Salme Belodia, and I'm the CEO of Wirecycling.
I'm Sudha Rao, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Wirecycling.
I'm Ruwaida Siddiq, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
And I'm Anurag Agarwal. I'm the Chief Financial Officer.
I'm Mihir Shah, and I'm the Chief Social Officer.
How do you work this? It's not working. Okay. As you may know, we live in a world of e-waste. As we continuously upgrade technology, we continuously generate e-waste. Like, for example, when you move from your old Nokia to your new iPhone, the Nokia is usually not disposed properly, and the phone and its accessories such as chargers, headphones, wires are thrown away, and it usually ends up in a landfill, often in countries like China, where 70% of the world's e-waste ends up. Keep this picture in mind because we're going to be returning to it later in the presentation. A major component of e-waste in the world is wire waste, and wire waste is often neglected by companies that don't have recycling plans for the wires they use. For example, we toured a data center in North Carolina owned by the company Network Appliances, and in the data center we looked through the trash, and what do we find? Cables, and all the cables that the company used were eventually thrown in the dumpster because they didn't have any recycling plans for those, and as they upgraded, they would just throw them away because they had no idea what to do with them. So how do we fix this problem? We're going to have a two-pronged approach to this problem. And on one hand, we are going to collect commercial cable waste from data centers such as the one NetApp owns in North Carolina. On the other hand, we have domestic cable waste in all of your houses and offices, which we could connect with bins in public places. Using these wires, we are going to both use them and resell the usable cables, and also the cables which are not in good condition to use, we will upcycle those into products to later sell. And I would like to pass on our operations viewpoint of Wirecycling to Sudha Rao, who's going to take you through it.
Thank you, Sameh. So how are we going to achieve our mission? Well, first, we're going to collect the cables. We're going to collect the cables by placing bins throughout the Raleigh area and in the offices of our business partners. We're going to do this because most people say they don't recycle their e-waste because they don't know what to do with it and they don't know where to take it. So we're going to make it easy for them to access our recycling facilities by putting the bins where they can go anyway. After they're brought to the warehouse, which will be in one of our team members' basements to start off, we will test the cables to see if they work or not. If they do work, we'll package them individually for resale and ship them off to whoever orders them. If the cables fail testing, we'll evaluate them to see if they can be repurposed or upcycled. We do this because Wirecycling believes that no cable should end up in a landfill. So we're going to try to find as many uses for these cables as possible. So if they can be upcycled, we'll upcycle them into our products, and the products will be packaged for resale. And then they'll all be shipped for delivery. And that's an overview of our operation flow that we included in the business plan. To make it more accessible for our customers, we'll provide all of our cables and all of our products on our online website. As you can see here, these are some of our business prototypes that we have made. To begin with, Wirecycling will be making accessories such as belts, watches, and bracelets. And these are some prototypes we actually made. And you can see how we turned an ordinary ribbon cable into a beautiful bangle. And in this next slide, you can see how we've reinvented ordinary speaker cables into this necklace and this braided bracelet design. In the business plan, it says that we'll be contracting artists to do this, but we've created some prototypes for ourselves for you to see. And our products are Our products are meant for people who share our passion for the environment and want to have a stake in the future of our planet. And to tell you more about this market, I'm going to pass it over to my good colleague, Rueda.
Thank you, Sudha. To start off with, we're going to start, wire recycling is going to be concentrated in Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina, some of you might know, is a business-oriented place. There are many big businesses like Cisco and IBM. Therefore, there are also many local data centers, and this is where we come in. We come in to collect their cable waste every year or so to make them into effective use. We are also expecting to expand our business and make more red zones in this map. Some of you might already know that we help out the environment, of course. We also raise awareness in the local society, but our most important feature is that we are making it more accessible to the people to throw away their cable waste. Some of the environmentally conscious people might not know where to throw away, and it usually ends up in landfills. But we are going to make them into effective use by upcycling them into products or reselling them. We also have some challenges, such as coming up with new designs, but Sudha showed you some of our prototypes, and our research team is still on progress on making more products. We also have a lot of opportunities in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have events like Lazy Days Festival and Earth Day, and these are very popular local festivals in Raleigh, where the community gathers around and celebrates. And this is where we're going to try to sell our products and let the people know where their cable waste should end up and should be used in an effective way. We also have competition, but we are going to be different from other businesses because we're going to upcycle the cables into products, and we're going to spread a message to the people and let them know that they can make a difference in this world. We also have a low barrier for other companies to enter our business market, but we are going to avoid this situation by branding our products pretty quickly and also establishing ourselves in the market. So whenever anyone hears Wirecycling, they will recognize us in the society. So far we have come up with 3 products, but these are of course not our final products, but we have bracelets and belts. And these bracelets and belts will be targeted towards women in the society. The bracelets will be priced $25, and the belts will be priced $35. We also have Wire Me watches, which are priced on the higher end, and these will be targeted towards affluent citizens in the society. Now I'm going to hand it over to Anurag to talk about finance.
Thank you, Rayla. Before I begin, I want to refer back to the updated financial plan I've given to each of you. I just want to make sure that each of you have at least skimmed through it because we've worked really hard with that throughout the recent weeks. This is our financial growth for the next 5 years. As you can see, it's exponentially rising like a J-curve, which is really good. This is through greater market strategies and also growing popularity in our company through branding our upcycled products. This is a shortened version of our income statement. As you can see, in the first year, we make approximately $100,000 in profit. However, in the second year, we make about $150,000 loss. This is because we relocate our facility to a new facility in Raleigh, NC. The third, fourth, and fifth years, we have decent profit because of more connections and partnerships with big businesses around the Raleigh area. However, we're asking for $100,000 in investment. This is for 3 things. First, relocate to a new facility in Raleigh, recruit new employees to help with the processing of the upcycled products, and also to enter new markets. Here's Mihir Shah, our CSO, who will talk about how to enter new markets using the social aspect.
Thank you, Anurag. Wirecycling will be promoting our idea through many different ways. First off, social media. Wirecycling does have a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and in the past 2 weeks, we have put out pictures of products as well as things to get people excited and interested and aware about what Wirecycling has to do for them. Now, in our earlier stages, we did send out a survey using Facebook and Twitter, and within 2 days, we got 50 hits on our survey. So we know that when Wirecycling becomes a company, that we're sure that people will respond. Advertisements. Wirecycling will be putting up online ads as well as flyers in local places such as parks and grocery stores, pretty much in the same areas that our local bins will be set up so people can put 2 and 2 together. Potential partnerships for Wirecycling will be partnering up with multiple data centers in the North Carolina area, and as we expand, we'll partnering up with data centers in other states such as Georgia, Virginia, so we can guarantee a steady transport of wires to be used. After our 5th or 6th year, Wirecycling will look into partnering with a company to strip the metal from wires, so we can reuse the metal and resell them for a higher price. Now, to summarize, our CEO, Sami Balodia.
In conclusion, Wirecycling operates on the basic plan of collecting discarded wires from data centers and domestic sources and either reselling the wires or upcycling them into products which we could later sell. This is part of our long-term strategy of expanding to other types of e-waste as well as other regions of the United States outside of North Carolina. And this will only be possible with the $100,000 investment from you, which will enable us to move to a newer facility and expand our capabilities. Now, going back to that picture, which I told you would return to, let me here explain that.
I want everyone to close your eyes. It'll only be a few seconds, don't be shy. Close your eyes, everyone. Think back to that picture that you saw of that little boy sitting in the midst of wires. He was helpless. Now, right now in front of you today, you have the opportunity to change that boy's life. Now, you have the opportunity to change millions of lives to come. So we hope you consider investing in Wirecycling. Thank you for your time. We will pass out a few of our sample flyers as well as some prototypes of products that we have made.
We're getting the bribe part of the equation over here.
We're supposed to hand it over to PK.
Oh, PK, here you are. So that picture touches, of course, and also the box I can totally relate to. In my attic, I've got that 3 times over. So just to get started on one of these, you take a cable, you strip out the copper, and you turn it into a necklace or some of those products. Even if that takes 1 hour to do, with the cost of labor, how are you going to make money, forgetting the collection costs and everything else? Just tell us a bit more about that.
Well, since the production cost and the production cost and material costs are very low, since we obtain the wires for basically free from companies who have no cable management companies that they partner with, we could get the wires for free, and making the cables aren't that hard, but we have really high margins on the cables because you saw the prices of the products.
In addition, to just add, we are not actually stripping the cables to make the products. We can also make the products without stripping it, so that's another process eliminated.
Well, all the cables in my attic have rubber around them, and that's nothing to do with the necklace you showed.
Well, actually, that necklace is made from a speaker cable. It does have PVC coating, so if you look in those are prototypes, so it is PVC coated. So it's not a plain wire.
Oh, so you leave the rubber coating on top?
Yes.
Seems like with a business like this, you have almost many disconnected competencies required to actually bring it all together, right? You have to collect the waste, then you have to bring it and test it, then you have to come up with a design to actually use it in some way, then somebody has to manufacture it, and then you have to sell it, right? That's a lot of different competencies to bring together.
Initially, we're going to be doing all the manufacturing in-house, just putting the wires together when we don't have a really high volume of cables. But as we move into a new facility, we're going to hire employees and make the whole process smoother.
Would you consider partnering with other organizations so that you don't have to try to do it all?
Yes, we're still trying to look for people to partner with to help manage the cables which we can't handle. And if we have an excess amount of cables in the future, we need a partner to help manufacture, of course.
Great presentation, great idea. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around your financials. So you talk about watches, which is a very premium segment you mentioned.
Yes.
So you are going 3 folds in 1 year. I have no idea where you're going to get the sales team or operations. Where is this competency going to come to increase your revenue 3 folds in 1 year, number one? Number two, all the cable resell and the bracelet, these are all different competencies to his point. I do not see that reflected in your financials. So is there something that we're missing, or have you thought through that?
Just to clarify, are you talking about our increasing revenue for the next 3 or 4 years? How it's?
I'm talking about the mix in the revenue. So
Okay.
the biggest mix is coming from watches, threefold, and then next year is becoming another threefold, right? And I don't see the same reflected in your sales team. You got a $77,000 sales team in year one, 81 next. Where are you going to get the competency from? Because you're selling 4 different products.
I'm sorry, I don't think I fully understand your question. Are you saying how will we hire?
Let's go back. 2015, you're selling $52,000 worth of watches. How many watches are those?
That's approximately. Sorry, I have the numbers in my pocket actually.
Okay.
In the first year, we sell approximately 800 watches in
800
total.
watches.
Yes.
Who makes those watches?
Currently, our management team will be processing and making these watches.
So you have 0 in sales, correct? How much
So-
time would it take to make one watch?
Approximately 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Really?
We haven't actually had a prototype of that, but that's our own. That's our.
So
We are bulk
the
ordering-
point here, guys, is it's very simple. The sales team or the operation structure that you put forth to match your revenue, at least to me, I do not see that connection. Making watches, selling watches is a very highly competent piece, right? You yourself mentioned in your presentation that this is a premium segment. Premium segments just doesn't come out the way you'll be selling your cables and the bracelets. So at least I don't see that reflected in your cost of operations, your sales, or your other collaterals that go out with that premium segment.
With our cost of operations, we're going to be bulk ordering like the watch head pieces off Alibaba, and the wire segment will be the strap for the watches. And we are going to be advertising these at many arts and crafts or environmental festivals in like North Carolina to try to connect to our target market.
So because we're only attaching the wires as straps to the watches, I don't feel it would take that long for it to produce one watch. We're not making the entire watch. We're purchasing the watch head as some added. But
Yeah, okay, I have a question, yeah. The concept itself, you said say 70% going to China. If it is profitable business, why can't they do it while you are doing here? So is it profitable at all in terms of if they're not able to do it 70% sitting like that, they can do it what you are proposing and a lot cheaper if there is a business, viable business for the long term.
could you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Why China is not doing what you're trying to do if they have that much, they are already.
In our research, Gaiyu, China is the largest e-waste landfill in the world, and their workers are treated very cruelly. They're made to strip cable waste without protection at all, and they're made to inhale the PVC. So we're not putting the cable waste in China. People are getting the wires, but they're not. It's hazardous for their health, and it's just terrible to send it there.
We're going to be making the whole process safer by doing it in-house or in facilities in America. What we also told you is after a 5-year plan, our long-term vision includes trying to obtain machinery or equipment to automatically strip the cables and to strip the precious metals out, and so we could recycle the PVC or create items or accessories with that to later sell, and we could sell the precious metals to other companies that are in need of those. It's our long-term plan.
So I think when you started the presentation, the concept was very, very good. I think everyone in the room got it. I think where people are struggling from the questions that you have heard here is the commercialization model. I think e-waste is a huge problem, both for consumers and businesses. I think you should think clearly between you want to focus on the e-waste being produced by consumers or businesses. And then probably think little bit more about automation of actually taking the valuable product out of it and selling it as a wholesale as compared to making watches. This is very impressive, but this is a fashion statement, and even some of the biggest fashion houses in the world can't get it right.
Thank you.
I'll grab that microphone.